This is a 2026 GMC Sierra 2500 AT4X AEV in this stunning Coastal Dune color. We're going to do a walk around and a review on it. Let me know what you guys think. So in front of me here, guys, I've got the 2026 GMC Sierra 2500 AT4X AEV Edition in this beautiful Coastal Dune color. And I gotta say, this color is beautiful because it brings out a lot of the accents around the truck. So it's got some blacks and some grays, some reds around it too, which we'll get into, but we'll start here at the front. Now, this one being the AEV edition gives you a couple different options here. So you're going to get stamped steel bumpers in the front and back, steel skid plates, 18-inch Salta wheels, AEV edition, and then you're going to get 35-inch tires, a 1.5-inch suspension lift. As you can see, this truck's massive. You're going to get Multimatic DSSV dampers and then a rear locking differential. So a lot of cool options here on this truck, but we'll start here at the front. You're going to get these C-shaped LED daytime running lights with LED lights. Now, as we carry over to the middle here, we've got the blacked out GMC badge there, camera underneath, and then the grille is actually like a slate gray color. You can see you got the AT4X name on the driver's side, and then the 4 is in a red color. So all around the truck, the 4 on the AT4 badge is going to be red. Now, as we can see down below here, we've got this massive stamped steel bumper, which is kind of like a gray color, and then AEV name right there. So AEV stands for American Expedition Vehicle. Fog lights, parking sensors, 2 recovery hooks, and then underneath there you can see you've got your metal skid plates. So massive front end, and the ground clearance is wicked, especially if you're going to take this off-road, which I presume not many people who are going to spend this money are going to take this off-road, but I think that would be really cool. Now, a couple other things that I like with the GM trucks is you got this functional hood scoop here, which goes and directs air into the engine to help cool it. But I also like the fact that they've given you these amber lights here. I think that just makes the heavy-duty trucks pop a little bit more, especially at nighttime. But overall, I got to say the front stance on this truck is beefy. It's massive, especially when you get this AEV edition. You know, you're going to get the massive wheels, the 1.5-inch lift, these metal bumpers. It just looks big. So that is really it here at the front, guys. Let's take a look underneath the hood and go over the diesel engine of choice here. All right, so taking a look underneath the AT4X AEV, we've got the 6.6 liter Duramax diesel, 475 horsepower and 975 pound-feet of torque mated to the Allison transmission. So that is equipped here on this truck. We'll take a look around it and go over the different options. So we'll take a look around the GMC Sierra AT4X AEV, and we'll start with the tire and wheel setup. So we're sitting on an 18-inch wheel. 305/70R18 is the tire dimension, so they are 35 inches, and it is a Goodyear tire. We can see we got the blacked out AEV wheel, which looks good, I would say, in my opinion. We've got that carpeted liner inside, and then we've got that plastic liner with that amber light there at the top. And then inside here with the AT4X, you've got the DSSV Multimatic shocks there, but the AEV edition just gives it more of that off-road look. You can see we've got the Duramax 6.6 liter Allison transmission badge here on the side. We've got a blacked out mirror cap here with a light and a camera underneath for your full 360 camera. Now, as we take a look at the side, I mentioned to you guys at the start, we get some red around the truck, and it really is only the 4 on the AT4X badge that really is red around it. But this is a 6.5-foot bed. We can see we've got the bed step there, and as we can see, they've blacked out the window trim, and then they've blacked out the door handles. Now, keyless entry is only on the front 2 doors. There is the AT4X HD badge. Now, we can see we also get a running board there that is power assisted. Now, as we take a look inside here, you're still going to get the AT4X interior, which in my opinion still looks good. I liked the fact that they went all black with some white. So we'll start here with the door panel. So we can see we've got all soft touch here, lock and unlock, window control here, white stitching and piping, and then we got some more soft padding, wood trim here. So I think the door panel looks good. We've got your Bose speaker down below, AT4X there on the door sill, and then here is what the AEV gives you. So you're going to get stitched headrests. I think that's really the difference between the AT4X and the AEV interior wise. And then this is what that seat looks like. You got power assisted seats here with massaging seats, and then this is that dash here. So all same design, you know, with all that black and white. I think the combination looks good, and you got leather wrapped handles here. You do get a sunroof here. No moonroofs yet in GM trucks, so hopefully maybe in their next redesigned truck they'll give you full moonroof. but you do get an Alcantara liner. You also get a cubby here to store maybe your phone. It's not really that big. And then your cup holders here, which we'll get into when we get on to that side. You do get an upper glove box area here that you can store things. That running board is definitely going to help you to help get in. And then here's what that back looks like here. So we'll start with the door panel. You can see we've got all soft touch here. You got your door opener here, window control, speaker here, and speaker there. They are Bose speakers, all soft touch. So like I said, I think the door panel looks good. Here we can see we got nothing there on the door sill. And then here's what that seat looks like. So all soft touch, white piping and stitching. But you got like red in here on the interior part, like the inside. And then here's that cubby where you can store things as well. Now, as we get inside here, we've got your 2 vents, 2 heated seats. You've got 2 cup holders there, USB, USB-C. Now, I wish GM kind of put maybe like a 110 back here. I think that would have been more useful, like for the storage down there, or maybe putting like your own climate control so the passengers control their own. Now, since this doesn't have a moonroof, you can see there's an indent at the top here. So if you're a taller passenger, you'd probably have a better time sitting back here as opposed to maybe having a moonroof and the roof kind of being a little bit more down. You also do get 2 lights back here. But I will show you how I would get back here as someone who's about 5'10", 5'11". All right, so hopping inside here, this running board coming down is going to help you tremendously. And then having this handle is going to help as well. Now getting in is very, very easy. This seat is decently far back, so I've got a good amount of room back here. And it's a comfortable space. I think the seats are not too bad. Now, you only get heated seats back here. A couple things that I hope GM maybe does in their new generation truck. They could put cooled seats back here. That would be an added bonus. They can also put your own climate control for your rear passengers. I think when people go on a long trip maybe with these trucks, having your own climate control for your back passengers would be a nice bonus. And also putting screens in the headrests. I think just adding it to the truck when you're paying, I think this is at least 130 Canadian. It's just nice to know that, oh, I'm getting this and this, especially if my kids are back here and we're going on a long trip. I think that would be really nice to have. Now, having this indent here at the top with sacrificing a moonroof, I think if you have taller passengers, obviously this is going to help. I've got at least 4 inches, I would say, of headroom. So that's nice to know, especially when I kind of move around, I'm not going to hit my head. I do wish these seats kind of pushed forward so, you can kind of lean back a little bit and rest. But, overall, I think it's a decent interior. It's very nicely designed. Overall, I think the interior space is great. And then getting out, having that handle here and that running board is going to help you tremendously, like I mentioned. Let me know what you guys think. So that is it from an interior point of view. And then here's a look at this bed step. So that is going to help you a lot to help you get into the back of the bed. And then this is a 6.5 foot bed. Here's a look at that back tire and wheel. So same dimensions in the back. You've got that blacked out wheel and then that AEV logo in the center. Carpeted liner inside here. You've got that amber light back here with the plastic liner around it. And then here's a look at that DSSV Multimatic shock. And then you've got your leaf springs as well. But that is really it from a side profile view. Let's take a look at that back tailgate and bed. So in the back here of the GMC Sierra AT4X AEV, we'll start right here in the middle. We can see we've got the blacked out GMC logo, blacked out Sierra badge, AT4X there on the right, and then AEV on the left. Now, as we can also see, this is a kind of like a matte black color wrap that they've put there. And then here's a look at that back bumper. So you still get your parking sensors as well with 2 recovery hooks. And then this is what it looks like below it. So you get a decent amount of ground clearance. And you can definitely see that the edges of the bumper are kind of tapered up. So if you are going to off-road, that'll help. You've got this massive diesel exhaust port there, which you do always get with the Duramax diesel. Now, I also like the fact with these taillights, they look different. I think they're kind of more like blacked out in a way, like even over here and up here I can tell. And then they are LED as we can see. Now, this one does have the multi-pro tailgate. So a couple things to note. You've got your camera here and a light here. And then to activate it, you just push down on that and it will come down ever so slowly. You've got the 5th wheel prep pack as we can see. So we got the 5 holes there. You've got a 120 on this side here. And then you've got your trailering plugs over on this side. Lights in both corners and then 3 tie downs also in each corner. We can see we also get the spray and bed liner from GMC. And then we've got there at the top 2 cameras. One is for your bed camera and one is for your mirror camera, which we'll get into. Now, multi-pro tailgate, very easy to use. I'll show you how to activate it. So this bottom one is your full tailgate and this is the top. So if we click both, it's going to come down just like that. And then this is actually your step. If I can open this thing, there we go. And then here is that kicker audio optioned speaker back here. Now, one thing that I've noticed is there's no handle here anymore. Someone did say in the comments that it was in the back seat, underneath the seat, but I'm not sure why they would not just put it here. I mean, you'd think they would still give you a handle because the stick figure guy still shows a handle, but unfortunately, I don't see handles in these trucks. Other than that, it looks pretty good. You've got the kicker audio, like I mentioned. I think that's a cool option for tailgating. And yeah, that's really it. Now to shut it, all you do is close it. And then what you could do is just push the top and have it come down. And then you can also use the stopper if needed. And then you can have the full tailgate come down and just have this extend basically the bed. So that is really it for the back here, guys. Let's take a look at those seats behind the driver. All right, so taking a look at the seats behind the driver's side, we'll start with the door panel. All soft touch material here. You get that wood trim. I like the fact that it's actually like a blacked out wood trim. I think it's nice and keeps up with the theme around the truck. You've got some kind of red stitching here, white stitching and piping, door handle, speakers there, to window control. Nothing here on the door sill. And then as we carry over to the seat, looks nice and plush. We've got some white stitching and piping, and then more of that red stitching in the center. We've got that cubby inside here to store things if needed. The seat also lifts up to store more things. And then here's a look at that center console area. So we've got 2 heated seats, USB, USB-C, 2 vents, 2 cup holders, and then again, nothing down here. I hope they do put at least a 110 down here and some more charge ports for the new design truck. You also get your handles to help you get in. But overall, that is it for the back. Let's take a look at the front. All right, so taking a look inside the Sierra AT4X AEV Edition, we'll start here with the door panel. All soft touch material here. You got that blacked wood trim, red stitching here, some more white stitching and piping. You've got your memory seating with lock and unlock here, window and mirror controls here. Your mirrors are power extending and also power folding, so that is cool to note. And then you've got a light at the side there to help beam a light at the back if you are needing some more light at night. You've got a Bose speaker here, AT4X there on the door sill. And then this is what that seat looks like, so soft and plush. You've got your seat adjustments here with massaging seats. And then this over here on the left side, you've got your 4x4 settings here with your different modes. And then here are your light controls. And then your bed lights are here as well. And then this here will control your heads-up display, which we'll get into once we get inside. But overall, this is what it looks like in the layout of the truck before we get in. Let's take a look at the interior and go over the different options. So we are inside the GMC Sierra AT4X AEV Edition. We'll start with the steering wheel. We've got a leather wrap steering wheel, as we can see. On the left side, we've got your cruise control technology here with your forward collision alert, heated steering wheel. And on the right side, this will control your front infotainment. We can also see we've got your Bluetooth settings here, as well as your voice command. Now, as we scroll through here, you've got different settings here, which you can go over. You can change your units to imperial or metric. You can change the displays on the left or right. And then you can also change the display layout to classic, progressive, digital, or clean. Now, in the infotainment screen here, you can actually go through your different settings. So diesel, exhaust fluid, fuel filter life, air filter life, brake pad life, oil life, driver assistance and whatnot, and then your trip speedo, whatever you need to go through. So that is over here in the center screen and controlled via these buttons over here. Now, one thing I wanted to mention to you guys before is this does have a heads-up display, as we can see there, controlled via these buttons over here. So as we can see, we can change the brightness of it. We can move it up or down or change the info on it. So really, really cool. On the left side of the steering wheel, we can see we've got your toggle for your wipers, and then this is your steering column shifter. Now, one thing, this is a telescopic steering wheel, but unfortunately, it does not have an automatic adjustment. You actually have to manually adjust it with this little lever down here. So that honestly sucks when you're paying this much money, but you know what? It is what it is. Little things, but they add up over time. Now, at the top here, it is a hard touch, but it's got some white stitching and piping, as we can see. You've got speakers here on the A-pillars on both sides, and then even on the dash, you've got speakers. So I think the dash layout, in my opinion, still looks really good. Now, we got a speaker here in the middle. This is an upper glove box area, which we can open up. Now, one other thing that I like to mention, too, with the interior is it's got kind of this like brushed aluminum around it, and I think that is a nice touch to add. We can see we also have got 2 vents up here, whereas opposed to the Chevy, they're actually on the side. But with the GMC version, you can definitely tell, with the knobs and whatnot, it does come with a little bit of higher class of things. Now, you do have different drive modes here, as we can also go over. So you only get off-road, and then you got normal, and it gives you a little bit of an animation over there. But overall, like I said, I think the dash looks good. Now, here is your display screen here. So you've got a dual setting. So you've got your maps here, which you can scroll through different settings. So it does give you a clock on this side, and I think it's a nice classy look to have. And then you can also have your audio button pushed here, and then you can have your audio on this side, or if you want, you can have your maps take up the full screen, or just have this setting here. Now, if you want your clock or any audio on this side, you can just scroll through here and you can go through and have different settings. So very easy to use. You got a physical home button and a touchscreen home button, as we can see there. You've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You got a camera button here, and all the camera angles on this truck are very useful, and I have to say the quality is very good. You got a bird's eye view when you're backing up, even at the front here, side camera angles as well, and then here is a closer bird's eye view when you're backing up to a hitch, and then here is your bed camera. So very easy to use, especially when you're driving. I think you can only use it for about 5 seconds, and then you can also zoom in. So one other thing to note, you've got the Play Store, Google Assistant. You can control your climate in the screen, or you can use your physical buttons. So I'm happy GM still gives you physical buttons for climate control. I think most people prefer this over having it into the screen. Nonetheless, you still can control it in the screen if you'd like. You do get a Wi-Fi hotspot in here, so you can hook up your phone and whatnot. You do have to pay for it through OnStar, but it does give you that option. But overall, the screen works really well. You've got your volume knob on the left side. Now down below here, we've got your push button start, dual zone climate. We've got here your heated and ventilated seats. Now your heated steering wheel button is on the left side of the steering wheel here. And then we do have some more controls down here. So we got a diesel exhaust brake, lane keeping assist button. You can turn it on or off. Parking sensors, tailgate release, hazards, trash control. This will put all your windows down. Now this here is your rear locker, and then here is your hill descent control. Now, unfortunately, you don't get a front locker in this truck. I'm surprised. I think in the 1500 series, you're able to get a front locker with the AEV. You got some more storage here, and then more storage in these pockets here. Trailer brake controller here, cup holders, and then this is where your wireless charging pad is for your phone. Now, as we come into the center here, we can see we've got the AT4X badge there with some more texture and then some red stitching. Now, as we open this up here, you're going to get some more storage here, more plugs, USB, USB-C, and then a 120. There's your 120 plug. You can take this out, and you're able to access the deeper pocket, and then you can also use this for other things if needed. Now, one other thing to note is you do get the rear camera mirror. Your OnStar settings are up here. Your rear sliding window control is here. And then this is your sunroof. So very easy to operate and use. And it obviously will give you more sunlight inside the truck. But overall, that is it for the interior point of things. Let me know what you guys think about the inside of the GMC Sierra. Do you think it's not luxurious enough for GMC's name, or do you think it's actually, they've done a pretty good job? So let me know in the comments what you think. So I'm sure you guys are wondering what the price is. So let's go outside and give you my final thoughts and talk about price. All right, guys, let's talk price. For this 2026 GMC Sierra 2500 AT4X AEV Edition, get ready, 141,118 Canadian. I think that's like 100,000 American. I never really thought one day that these trucks would approach $150,000 Canadian. I mean, that's, like I said, I think 100,000 American. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful truck from top to bottom. They've given you a lot of great options on this truck. Yeah, I think you could be adding a little bit more, for that price tag. But regardless, 141,000, that is insane. So let me know what you guys think about the truck in the comments. Curious to know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.